everybody, and welcome to Open Mic Night live at the ZoomBarDC. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got Bill Sherman, Joseph Stegner, David Weening, Arlene Grant, and more. So sit back, relax, have a great time, and Bill Sherman's going to kick us off. Take it away, Bill.
Thank you, Marie-Louise. Hi, everybody. So this evening, I'm going to start off with I'm gonna do Simon and Garfunkel stuff from my favorite Simon and Garfunkel album, which is Bookends. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag. So we bought a pack of cigarettes, Mrs. Wagner's pies, and walked off to look for America. Kathy, I said, as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. Took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I've come to look for America. Laughing on the bus and playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. And I said, be careful, this bow tie is really a camera. Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. We smoked the last one an hour ago. So I looked at the scenery, and she read her magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. All come to look for America.
I love that song. I haven't heard it in forever.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. The Bookends album is just, as far as I'm concerned, by far the best. It's a maturing of them before they then did Bridge Over Troubled Water, which I mean, Bridge Over Troubled Water is a good album. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that Bookends just has a lot more nuance to it, and uh, it's being themselves rather than reaching out for the commercial market. That's what I've got there.
Yay.
Something tells me it's all happening at the zoo. I do believe it's true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoa, whoa. Mm-hmm. It's a light and tumble journey from the east side to the park. Just a fine and fancy ramble to the zoo. And you can take the crosstown bus if it's raining or it's cold. And the animals will love it if you do. Something tells me it's all happening at the zoo. I do believe it. I do believe it's true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoa, whoa. Mm-hmm. Well, the monkeys stand for honesty, giraffes are insincere, and the elephants are kindly, but they're dumb. Orangutans are skeptical of changes in their cages, and the zookeeper is very fond of rum. Zebras are reactionaries, and antelopes are missionaries. Pigeons plot in secrecy, and hamsters turn on frequently. What a gas, yeah, you got to come and see at the zoo. You got to come and see at the zoo. You got to come and see at the zoo. You got to come and see at the zoo.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yay, Bill. Thank
Thank
you. That was great.
Thank you.
Okay. Joseph, you want to go next?
I do. It's a long poem. I started it the other day. It's been kind of a tough week for me with work being so slow with the rain, and then my boss having multiple health problems. Yeah, it's pretty tough. So it's been cathartic for me to just try to pour out my heart. And so I've been writing this poem little by little every day. I am just a poet, a servant of our time, observing the human experience, describing it in rhyme. It was as a paramedic I was triggered to this quest. I hear that damn hiss in my lips. I hate it. It's part of the reason I've been struggling with a little depression, I think, this week. But it was as a paramedic I was triggered to this quest when a woman squeezed my arm and died from a bullet through her chest. In a busy world with many demands other than the prevention of death, it's been a journey of understanding and perseverance of the breath. The focus has had its consequence on the normalcy of my life, and there is no pay to be made, not profiting on existence of strife. If a body is broken open, medics get paid to do their thing, but it's entirely a work of faith to take off the uniform and sing. Starving artist is a well-known term for lack of pay for our time. One can make a wage making trinkets, while effect alone is the aim of my rhyme. There is no "see, I told you so" that can comfort the heart of such eyes who sees calamity approaching, ignored for vision less wise. I am a ragdoll of experience with a body that bears the scars of being taken into the best and worst of the circles of how people are. Bludgeoned, beaten, shot, and dismissed, I know the weight of my words and the reaction they can elicit when truth is not what's wanted heard. I have also enjoyed the sweet reward of manifesting such faith that love is the light that should lead, which has kept me miraculously safe. Although the drums of civil war started pounding years ago, there are those so seared in conscience they now let those words freely flow. With pending divorce in their own lives, they project their infidelity, calling it a right of their passion to meddle with the bond of integrity. The injection of falsehood in motives to curry the conscience to fail conceals the ominous sky to which their laden ships sail. There where arrogance meets its doom, where water meets the sky, the waves know not their language and become the tears they cry. The open mouth that feigns protection for those who assemble within are lured by bait of eloquence which hooks the hidden want to sin. Finding comfort and affirmation by the number of others who fell for the lines, the excitement creates a euphoria which the transgressing spirit divines. Then, with purpose, thought as true, what they wouldn't want done to themselves, they become willing to conduit through. Thus it is, by human hands, hell is brought to earth, all because the eyes were fooled to abandon potential's worth. Instead of what sustains endurance of the best of what can be, attitude consumes it like flames consume a tree, or any other structure that many hands produced, so swiftly is destroyed when war's behavior is induced. The illusion of certain victory intoxicates aggressors the more, enough to find some pleasure in the imaginations of war. What comes with such decision to fabricate the cause to kill is a surrender of the safety and peace that accompanies goodwill. This is where it becomes predictable what steps the falling will take. Like equations can make calculations, how gravity influences movement objects will make. The mathematician, physicist, and poet each tries to understand the unseen, to make useful the laws of existence by understanding what an action means. This is where it gets ugliest and hardest for an author to write, to record the cause of those shrieks by prey made in the night. Such makes the soul uncomfortable to witness what it would rather ignore, else empathy might be stirred to make a remedy its chore. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference, is a recurring prayer of my soul, as that which many deem impossible is the object of my goal. As I grapple the demon of reason that sucks war's victims to its hole. The reports that you hear of homicides with little detail in the news don't tell of the lived experience emergency crews retain with such views. Like any calloused hands can handle what tender palms can't, the hearts of first responders endure what most people shan't. Through that window of pain that trauma inflicts on humankind, we see the need for medicine when disease infects the mind. Protocols are established to respond when the horror emerges, which fatigued who holds this pen to be too late when evil surges. Once the guns have blasted or knives have sliced their prey, there is only so much we can do when blood within its vessels won't stay. Which is why I was directed by a woman falling in that hole, who squeezed my arm as she died with the windows of her soul, revealing what her empathy told. How could anyone do this to a beautiful human being? Shook the foundation of my destiny onto this poem that you're reading. I left my role to another medic who was eager for the task. As I set out to address the question my patient begged me to ask. That is officially halfway through the poem, so how about if there's time, I come back and finish the other half.
Yay, Joseph! That was amazing. Wow.
Thanks.
As
Yeah.
far as I'm
Thinking of
concerned,
maybe
that's one of the.
getting,
As far as I'm concerned, that may be the best piece I've ever heard you read that you've written. Uh, that
thanks,
very well put together.
thanks. All right, that's half of it. I'll come back for the rest. Thanks, appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good. Thanks, Joseph. Well done. David, do you have something you want to share? You're on mute. Can you unmute? David?
I couldn't bring up the right.
Oh,
Um, I had found some files that I wanted to read, and now I've lost them. But I have a very short one. One of the things that I loved about being in California as a kid and as an adult was the color of the sky. It's a blue that you just can't find anywhere else. And so this is called Western Sky. The blue I never see is in a Western sky, a blue so perfect it cannot be cloned by enterprise nor moved to other places. So rare this blue, I only see it in my mind or in my heart, but never above me. That's it.
hey, David.
Now, I don't know about the sky in California, but when I lived in Bellingham, which is much like San Francisco, and as far as, it goes from mountains down to Puget Sound very, very quickly. I've never seen a sky so blue, so devoid of humidity and pollution. It was just the bluest thing I'd ever
Nothing
seen.
like it. Yeah.
David, where are you?
Right now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ah!
It's different,
Yeah, no, I mean, we get the wind right off the ocean, so I guess.
but I was able to spend the morning with my granddaughter. Couldn't do that in California anymore. So
Very important.
Are you just visiting
Is-
down in Charlotte, or are you there, quote, permanently?
yeah, permanently. It feels like that anyway. Yeah, it's not bad, but I'm if I were younger, I'd be exploring it in a much better way than I do now.
Mhm,
So it's not familiar to me except the routes to the doctor's offices.
mhm. I can dig that.
So
Is the sky in Charlotte, North Carolina prettier in winter or spring or summer or fall or?
it's hard to describe. Like the winter we had, there was never any snow, and there's nothing like if you can't be in California, if you can be somewhere where it snows and it's the next day and the sky is blue again. Yeah, blue sky and snow are just made for each other.
Gorgeous, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
Has
I'll
anyone
agree
here
with
ever been
that.
to New Mexico?
New Mexico, yes.
Has anyone been to New Mexico? You have, David?
I have. I
It's
went to
called-
the Santa Fe Opera.
It's called the Land of Enchantment for a reason. There's just something
It
about
is.
the elevation and being closer to the clouds.
Certainly
It's amazing.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful skies, beautiful skies.
Yeah, thanks. Bill, do you want to sing some more songs?
Well, let's see what I can pull out of myself here.
Yes, he does.
By the way, I've got a stain on my sweater.
I do. Mine's out of camera range, so I just want to help you feel better.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. You gotta help me, baby. Can't do it all by myself. You gotta help me, honey. Can't do it all by myself. And if you won't help me, baby, I gotta find somebody else. And when I walk, you walk with me. And when I talk, you gotta talk with me, honey. Yeah, now, baby, can't do it all by myself. And if you won't help me, baby, I gotta find somebody else. Yeah, I might wash, I might sew, I might cook, you know, I might even mop your floor. But you gotta help me, honey. I can't do it all by myself. And if you won't help me, baby, I'm gonna find somebody else. Bring me my nightshirt, honey, put on your morning gown. Bring me my nightshirt, put on that morning gown. You know I ain't sleepy or tired, baby, I just feel like lying down. You gotta help me, help me, help me, baby. Can't do it all by myself. No, I can't, gotta help me, honey. And if you won't help me, baby, I'm gonna find somebody else. And if you won't help me, baby, I gotta find somebody else. And if you won't help me, baby, I'm gonna find somebody else.
Yay, Bill! Yay, that was a great song.
Thank you.
Did you write that?
No. Help me is a. I don't even know who wrote it. It's a pretty old song. I think it was written in the 40s.
Yeah.
Let's see here. No. Let's see. Just a minute. I'm thinking. I have to get one song out of my head before I can get the other one in my head. It's in the same key, so it's going to sound the same. Oh well, I'll do this because I can't get my head out of the other thing. You called to tell me you were lonely. You cried the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. Then you said you were sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, go on and cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You nearly drove me out of my mind. You never shed a tear. I remember all that you said. You said that love was too plebeian and you were through with me, and now you tell me that you love me. Well, even if that's true, I want you to cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you, it's true, 'cause I cried a river over you. I want you to cry me a river, cry me a river, cry me a river, cry me a river, go on and cry me a river, cry me a river. 'Cause I cried a river over you.
Woo! Hey, Bill. That's such a great song, and you do it so well.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll at least for now, I'll stop at that.
Was that the song you were going to sing, or
No,
second?
no, I kept on trying to. Sometimes, especially when I've done a song that's in the same key in a very similar rhythm, I have a hard time getting the first one out of my head so I can get the second one in my head, and I just couldn't get it in there.
Well, you can try again later.
Yeah, I'll try again later. Yeah.
Okay. Joseph, you ready for part 2?
I am.
Wow.
So continuing.
You're quick.
Part 2 with Ragdoll, Mouth of Mercury, Stitchings of a Living Poet. With 3 poems upon my departure, I left the ambulance with stated intent to influence mass perception before decay's bullets are spent. Since then, I have been shot myself through the pelvis and the side, more fortunate than my patient, whose chest I saw splayed open wide. The images of her death were my shelter when the world disagreed that such effort to prevent war should be compensated as a need. Finding me dependent on manna in the spirit I tried to read, such unfeigned dedication has revealed what servants can learn when they enter the lock of a vault with tumblers obedience can turn. The treasures of such friendship only humility can observe when love is shown sincere enough to cling to the mission we serve. Through homelessness, assault, and ridicule, my priority has remained to find remedy for the reasons a medic's memory is so blood-stained. The simplicity of the solution is a needle to the nerves of the ill. Some are brave and compliant, while cowards withdraw with no altering will. Some are so scared to feel empathy that they thicken the blinders they wear and remain by any means necessary in a bubble where they don't have to care. Enter the artists who try to break through that shell by giving some palpable imagery to what their vision has to tell. Francisco Goya's The Disasters of War etched its message centuries far into my own awareness of how war takes people far, far from who they want to be or what they're forced to receive. At the fulcrum of life or death, when the need for homicide is believed. The cauldron of human suffering becomes a canyon when there's war, whose rims are hard to reach for escape when such result is purposed for. The portal of the golden rule and all that it can mine, of veins more precious than gold from the will of the divine, is more refreshing in its feeling than what its dismissal can produce, as it is only at such depth one gains the sense of active use. Ergo, then, it can be said, the selfish know not what they do, having no experienced perspective to see what eludes their sight as true. We approach another flashpoint where truth may be too raw, that we really must be willing to prove our faith in love's living law. When I say law, I mean cause and effect, in known, predictable ways, like one who loves their enemies, knows the spirit with them stays. Why did I call this poem Ragdoll? It's in reflection of the life I live, to be willing to be tossed around in the perspective such friendship gives. My shoulders are torn, teeth knocked loose. I've been bludgeoned, kicked, and shot. Such is like spinach to Popeye to proclaim this message I've got, that even in the face of death, a living spirit has my back, miraculously saving my life when multiple guns attacked. The snuggles of the Creator are worth any transient pain to witness the glory of life by being allowed to remain. Today, a man of war stood with ego and pride, with those uniformed to save life, to brag that their empathy died. Good and evil are directional, with origin in the heart. One cannot fool the spirit when decision gets its start. We are in a time when doublespeak gets past discerning thought, unrecognized as a line on which the hooked believer is caught. The absence of forgiveness is an arrow to the heart of the future, while lack of love for others is the recurring need to suture. Bringing the blade into the home to sever connections of love, falsehood in the name of truth, folk like DeSantis claim friendship above, when he is more like a villainous character who would take a throne by force, willing to sanction division with a national divorce. It would be easier for me to hide and pretend that I didn't hear if I was a different person who didn't let my gratitude steer. To turn my eyes from what I see for any cause at all would swallow me to the grave to not respond to the call. The wounds I saw as a medic and the news we hear every day is like a whistle I cannot ignore as it summons the devil to play. That's all I got so far.
I would, if it were me, but it's not me, it's you, I'd leave it right there. That's a great last
Yes.
line.
Yes, it's tight. You've been having quite the productions these recently.
Yeah, I'm pretty prolific. Someone once told me I keep my poetry gears well oiled.
Yes,
He said.
you do. These were very good, both of them.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joseph. Those are amazing.
Thank you.
David, do you have some more stuff?
I do. I'm sorry. Here we go. I mentioned last week that I have a number of poems from my childhood. This is earlier than anything I've read here. This is from the 40s. We have often been devastated by epidemics. And the one that I'm thinking of in this poem, of course, it will be obvious, is polio. And I think it's the most frightened I've ever been about potential illness. As I grew up, it didn't hit me as hard as this. But you'd see in magazines, or at least I would, black and white pictures of families surrounding the polio patient who was in an iron lung. And they would see by a mirror their guests and their family and so forth. And it just terrified me to think about being in one of those machines.
Yep.
It still does. It's not a good memory, but I hope it's a good poem.
Yeah.
This is called Smiling in an Iron Lung. The machine helps them breathe. My mother urged me onto a bus, or so I have remembered all my life. The image is vague, but my horror is fresh. And the sound, I couldn't breathe, not for the life of me. When air returned to my body, I used it to scream, to fling my healthy body anywhere but forward. In those black and white days, odd-capped nurses and sad, tired families posed their faces around the mirror-trapped grins of their loved ones. The rest of us went about our days terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
You,
I remember that. Yeah.
it was just,
Didn't we have to go in and get polio shots?
yes, we did. Well, no, that was later.
That
Okay,
was in the 50s.
No, we
I
got
think.
shot. We got other shots in those days, and
that's right.
you might be conflating them. But it wasn't until the 50s that the Sabin and the
Okay.
the other vaccine came out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this was a bus that had in the seats there was a bellows and a device that fit in front of the children. And they were being taken out for a nice time, and just seeing them as so mechanical and
Oh,
seeing their heads and their arms just terrified me. And I feel bad about that because I wouldn't want to upset any of them. But as I recall, I had no choice.
Thank you, David.
yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was powerful memory.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I am back, guys. Hello.
Yes.
Yay, Yay,
Good.
Arlene.
Yay.
Hi, Arlene.
Hello. I have a microphone.
Wow. Is it?
So
It looks like a troll.
I hope it works. It's something I use to do voiceover stuff for my wellness classes that I teach. So I'm like, I hooked it into this computer. I tested it last week and it works. So I hope it works today. Okay. I am going to sing one of my favorites, and I've sang it here before, but I don't think I've done the acoustic version of it. And it's Mad World by Tears for Fears, but this is the acoustic version. Hopefully you can hear it. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which they're dying are the best they've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello, teacher, tell me what's my lesson? Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which they're dying are the best they've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Enlarging your world. Mad world. May the world be less mad.
Yay, Arlene.
Thank
you.
you. You guys hear me okay? Did I break up?
Yes, beautiful.
No,
Um,
that worked well with that microphone.
Thank you.
Arlene, I'm not a singer, but it strikes me that you've done two difficult things. One is sing a cappella, and the other is sing a slow song. that it's got to be harder to have a beautiful song that's slow. I think that's I assume it's got to be very demanding to do that, and I'm so impressed.
Thank you. It is demanding, but I love the song and I feel it in my soul.
Yeah.
And so it's
Last time you sang it, were you the company? Did you have a track? I love this. There was something really beautiful this time around by having it a cappella. It was
thank you.
gorgeous. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I always love hearing good things.
Thanks,
Thank-
Arlene. Did you want to do another one? Or-
Maybe,
Maybe later?
yeah. I could do one later.
Oh, okay. Bill, do you want to do some more?
Yeah, I'll pop one more out there.
Okay.
Man, this is an old tune as well. And again, I don't remember who wrote it. Every day I've got the blues. Every day I've got the blues. When you see me worried, baby, well, it's you I'd hate to lose. Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. They're talking about worried and bad luck, mama. Well, you know I've had my share. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, baby. Every day I've got the blues. When you see me worried, honey, well, it's you I hate to lose. I'm gonna pack up my suitcase. I'm gonna move it on down the line. I'm gonna pack up my suitcase. I'm gonna move it on down the line. Where there sure ain't nobody worried, and there sure ain't nobody crying. Well, every day, 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 I've got the blues, yeah. When you see me worried, honey, well, it's you I'd hate to lose. When you see me worried, baby, well, it's you I'd hate to lose. When you see me worried, baby, well, it's you I'd hate to lose.
Woo! Yay, Bill!
Yeah, thank you.
I love that song. Is that the one you were going to do before?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
it is.
yeah. Awesome. Okay. Arlene, do you want to do another one?
I was muted. Let's see. I'll do one. I was thinking of trying to do something new, but I'm going to take stress off of myself and say I'm not going to do something new. I'm going to do something that I know and I've done a long time ago here and haven't done it in a long time. So it's Billie Eilish's song. Do you remember Billie Eilish, everybody? Well, she had this song, and I used to sing it here. So give me 1 minute. It's called Lovely. And I'm gonna do it a cappella as well. I just needed to remember what the lyrics were because I haven't done it in such a long time. So let me get the lyrics up and I will do it. Okay. So I am ready if you want me to sing. Okay. Thought I found a way. Thought I found a way out. But you never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. Oh, I hope someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one. I wanna feel alive outside. I can find my fear. What's my mind of stone? Pieces, skin bone. Oh, come home. Walking out of town, looking for a better place. Something's on my mind, always in my head space. But I know someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one. Wanna feel alive outside. I can find my fear. My mind of stone, tear to pieces, step on. Whoa. Pieces, step on. Welcome home. That is lovely.
Yay, Arlene!
Thank you.
You do that so well. But sadly, Zoom was cutting out some of the high parts, the really cool parts that you do so well. I don't know what's going on with Zoom, but that's a shame.
Well, hopefully you were able to appreciate it. I don't know why it's not allowing my notes to come. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know either. Okay. Does anybody else have anything for this evening?
I'm sorry to say I'm played out.
No worries. But anyway, so thanks everybody for another great open mic night live at the ZoomBarDC, and we'll see you next week.
See you next
Thank you,
week, everybody.
Marie.
Love y'all.
Hey,
Thanks. Love
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Marie-Louise.
You're
bye.
welcome. Good night.
Now,
See-
love y'all.
See, good night. Take care. Sorry I was late, Marie-Louise.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for
Ugh.
coming.